Hello everybody, I'm here for day 9 of Care December, and today's prompt is Evergreen 2. We've already done Evergreen, so we're doing Evergreen 2. First thing, I've got some, these are mushroom caps, in case they don't look like it, but that's what they are. And I am going to add a stem to this one here, this green one. And I could look up a reference to see exactly how the stem looks, but this will basically be the shape. So I'm going to cut it out in a smaller pair of scissors. Let's see if I can get it better. I'm not going to cut up to the edge of the stem or the cap. I'm going to leave a little light border. So it'll stand out better on the page, hopefully. It doesn't have to be that wide, but just a little bit of a white border. The secret to cutting, the fuzzy cutting, is that you turn the paper and not the scissors. I mean, there'll be some times when you'll have to turn the scissor, but it's mostly about turning the paper. Well, let me cut this off. I started to cut it off before I started, but I thought, well, you know, I'll show you all the caps. And that's not nearly all that I have. I have pages of them that I did and never finished. That's me sometimes. Too many irons in the fire. Let's go up here and do a little bit closer. I haven't painted this stem, so and over here. Okay, I've got these little bits of paper everywhere, so they'll end up on the floor. Those two won't, they're in the trash. Okay, so I haven't done this yet in this journal, but I took these pages out and did a little stitching. And I have to say, you know, I had the stitch as long as I could make it, and it still perforated the paper here, because it's just an old ledger. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these scissors back before I do something stupid with them. I don't need these big scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a tree, maybe starting over here. And this is with a Stabilo Marxall. I'm going to have a ground right here. And the Stabilo Marxall is water soluble. So if I add water to this, which I probably will do, I'm not sure yet, but it will dissolve, and it's much blacker than it is right now. So this is my tree, and let's add a little water and get a brush. I have clean water. And by the way, I found my gold and silver gouache. I found all my gouache, so I wasn't sure where they were, but I found them. So we'll be using gouache in my little palette, and I had used acrylic paint in, and I shouldn't. I cleaned it up anyway. Okay, so let's see. If you want to do anything more, I'm going to dip the Stabilo in water, and it's got branches all over the place. Okay, so now I'm going to take the mushroom and put it down here. The idea of this evergreen is that you have soft things, you have hard things, you have cold and warm, and in this time of year. So anyway, I thought the tree is one type and the mushroom is something else, hard and soft, and so that's where I'm coming from. And of course, the mushroom has a green cap on it, so that's because the theme of this Care December is green. This was 3-in-1 that I just used because this paper is like cardstock, and it's thicker than I would normally use for. This definitely is not in scale, as you can see. It would be unusual to have a mushroom. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think there are mushrooms that grow this big. And I got a little Stabilo right there on my mushroom stem. So I'm going to paint it. Let me see. I don't have my watercolors out. Oh, I see them. I just covered them up. Some water on here. I'll put it, I've got it, I was going to say just on the green, but I'm going to put it on the brown too. This is not a watercolor brush. This is not a very good, it's also the one I used to wet the Stabilo, so that's not what I want to use. Let me see what I've got up here. I should have that brush that I've been using all through. Yeah, here it is. I had it out. I just hid it. Okay, so we're going to take this brown and do the cap. I mean the stem. And I'm trying to leave the white outline, but I don't know that I have succeeded all the way around. Okay. Think we'll do some green splatter. And I've got some acrylic paint out that I'm going to use on this other page that I stitched on. Wow, that's a mess. That was a skin. Have you ever used watercolor skins? I mean, not acrylic skins. It's when you just take dried up paint and use it. In your journaling. And let me put a little bit on this page too. I'm just pressing the brush down, and it gives sort of a leaf effect. Maybe one up here. All right. So let's see what else I want to do to this page. I had another color green out. What did I do with it? Maybe I'll put some watercolor green on this page, you know, besides the splatter. This is a very dark green. Okay, I think I'm done with that. I've got another green. This is an apple green that I'm going to put over here. I didn't bother putting it in the plate today, so I really wanted that thick. So we're going to put it on another paper that I can then use somewhere else. Okay, so let's see what else we want to do. We want to do some white splatters. I haven't dried anything yet, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do what I can do, and then we'll dry. This brush is clean, but it's just stained with white, with pink. That's what I really meant. As you can see, it's stained with pink. Let me dab up that big splatter that I got first thing. Okay, and now we're going to use the gold wash. My water's still relatively clean. I don't know, have you ever used gouache? I mean, gouache is watercolor, but opaque watercolor, so you don't see through it, and you can layer over top of it. You know, you put light on dark, and unlike regular watercolor, you need to start with the lights and then add darks. And all right, so I think we just need to dry this. This is day 9 of 15, so we're moving right along. We just got a fair amount of water on it. I like this gold gouache. I've got a silver as well. So I'm trying to use. I have a white gouache too, but the Dr. P.H. Martin bleed proof does just that. You know, it doesn't bleed, and shows up better than the white gouache. Unless you're painting, like you're doing a painting or something, and it's the white gouache is great for the highlights. And I think I'm gonna try to do some watercolor just after these two challenges are complete. May do some watercolor. Okay, so I've got my little label. Where is the, oh, here it is. I did stitching. I stitched I call them stitchy bits because they're small and they're just paper and fabric and whatever, you know, whatever I have. So I did that, and I'm going to put it down with Fabri-Tac. I could use 3-in-1 glue because I don't see any difference in them, but I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. And I've got strings, threads that are hanging off here that I don't know if you like them or not. I had a friend that she sews that's her business, and I gave her something, and she said, I'm going to cut these threads off because I deal with them enough. So she did not want the threads, but to me, I think it adds a lot. But it, you know, was just an annoyance for her because she spends a lot of time snipping threads after she's made, you know, put together, like she does draperies and you know, all kinds of window treatments and pillows, and this is not coming out. She also blocks and frames cross stitch and things like that for other people. So anyway, she did not want to deal with the threads, so she cut them off. Next time, if I ever do something else for her, I'll cut them off before I give it to her. But like I said, I like to see them. To me, they add something to the fact that it's handmade. And I'm going to put the lace at the bottom. And then I've got my Evergreen 2, which I'm going to put on, I think, with, well, maybe I better do it with Fabri-Tac, since I'm putting it on fabric. Can't see my little blue, well, there's a little bit here and a little bit there, a little blue fabric that I had added. Let me see if I can get some glue under this mushroom cap that's sticking up. I'm having a time with glue. And this glue, as I've said, it dries clear. So if I, get some outside the line, it doesn't really matter. I think that's down pretty good. But it's seeped out and gunked up my pen. I'll deal with this later. All right, so we are finished with day 9, and get these papers out so you can see what it looks like without all the distraction. I had this out. I was going to use it. Maybe I'll put a little bit on it. It's a old pastel, or, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I don't want any on the other side. And let me move this a little bit. I'll smear it around and then wipe my fingers and we'll be done. Here are the threads from this sewing that I did. I've got it on here and on here. The thing about when you sew, you obviously are going to have it on 2 pages. You know, both sides of the same page. But okay, so this is it for today. And I hope, let me slip this over. I hope to see you again tomorrow.